What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Fast. Today, let's get started with Paddy Pimblett questions Justin Gaethje for ongoing title shot holdout. UFC lightweight contender Paddy Pimblett didn't hold back on Justin Gaethje amidst the former BMF title holder's holdout. The UFC lightweight title picture is filled with big names and big questions, including who will face newly crowned champion Ilia Topuria for his first title defense. Since Topuria's victory, Justin Gaethje has repeatedly declared that he plans to hold out for a title shot instead of fighting another top contender. I don't ever want to say a bad word about Justin, because he's a legend. No one's owed nothing. You fight for it. My last win, I beat someone in a better fashion, who was a higher-ranked opponent than he won in his last fight. I know he's a legend, and obviously he's done a lot for the company and all that, but you can't just demand a title shot. Just weeks before Topuria's win, Pimblett made a case for a title shot with a dominant performance against Michael Chandler at UFC 314. Arman Tsarukyan unsure who can stop Islam Makhachev after UFC 322 sweep. Arman Tsarukyan isn't exactly sold on a welterweight contender who can stop Islam Makhachev. Makhachev challenged Jack Della Maddalena for the UFC welterweight championship inside Madison Square Garden in New York City this past Saturday. Makhachev lived up to his word, controlling Della Maddalena throughout the fight to score a unanimous decision victory. A very good performance. I was shocked how he beat Della Maddalena so easy. It says what Islam level is at right now. You know, he's doing different level right now. He's in his prime, and I don't know who can stop him right now, at 170 even. Arman has shared the octagon with Islam in the past. The two had a competitive 3-round fight that featured high-level grappling. Ultimately, Arman was defeated via unanimous decision. The two were set for a rematch with the UFC lightweight gold at stake back in January. Tsarukyan was pulled from the event mere hours before the weigh-ins due to an injury. Arman said he learned a valuable lesson from that situation. Don't overtrain. That's the most important thing that I learned about the pullout. That's why I hurt myself always. That's why I try to do a lot of hiking when I want to train, or do something different, like walk or do bike, and don't do a lot of wrestling that I used to, trying to save my energy. Daniel Cormier names easily the hardest fight for Islam Makhachev. Daniel Cormier sees one particular UFC welterweight contender giving Islam Makhachev problems. With Makhachev logging more than 19 minutes of control time on Della Maddalena, many are wondering who can challenge the man who has now tied Anderson Silva for the longest winning streak in company history at 16. Shavkat Rakhmonov is the guy that I think about, and I go, man, that is a crazy fight to think about. Islam versus Rakhmonov, the size of Rakhmonov, the wrestling ability of Rakhmonov, and the striking of Rakhmonov. Man, that's a good one. I thought last weekend would have been the toughest fight of his career. He clearly proved that wasn't the case. I think though, if he was to fight Shavkat, that would easily be the hardest fight of his career. Shavkat cemented himself as #1 contender when he defeated Ian Machado Gary at UFC 310. He was slated to challenge Belal Muhammad for the welterweight title at UFC 315 in May, but withdrew due to injury. He has not competed since.